I'm not gonna lie right now. I thought about faking an intro where a spider was crawling on me and me just bugging out and having a fake reaction, but I decided that this channel will never have any fake shit on it, whether it's the 5th episode or the 500th. So I didn't fucking do it. Roll the intro. What is up, proprietors? Steve Sakinikis from Proprietor Lifestyle, bringing you the 5th official episode of the Proprietor Lifestyle. Last one I could count on one hand. I do not have 6 fingers, believe it or not. So next week's 6th episode is going to be, I'm not going to be able to do this and say 5th, 6th, whatever. So anyway, you guys are here from the beginning. In a couple years from now, when it's Proprietor Lifestyle 500 or whatever number it may be, you could come back to this and say, hey, this was the last one Steve could count on his fingers. I know a lot of people are going to say that, oh, what was the last one he could count on his fingers? This is it, the 5th one. Anyway, as you can tell, it's pretty late right now. Just got back from Spider-Man, saw that it was alright. I'm not into superhero or action movies, anything like that. I really like horror and comedy. Comedy, number one, obviously, who doesn't like to laugh? If any movie takes place in New York, it automatically adds 1 point to it. So on like a 1 through 10 scale, I would rate Spider-Man 6.5, and you add a point to that, so that's 7.5. So, I mean, it was good. Would I see it again? No. Would I recommend you to see it? I can't. I can't recommend you to see it. It was alright. That's what I have to say about that. Before I get into the entrepreneur millennial stuff, in other news, Carmelo Anthony was supposedly on the verge of being traded to the Houston Rockets. As you guys know, I'm a huge Melo guy. He's been my boy since I was 10. And like Melo, I finally said, okay, it's time for him to leave. Go get your ring. Do whatever you got to do. He hasn't made the playoffs in 4 years, and it's not his fault. He literally hasn't played with one All-Star when he was in New York. Like, literally, every single year he made the All-Star team, not one time did he look at someone and say, hey, he's my teammate, and we're both All-Stars. Not once. So people saying, oh, Melo can't make the playoffs, Melo can't do this. Who the fuck can he do it with? He has nobody to do it with. Anyway, someone I know kind of has an in with the NBA, and he texts me, goes, yo, Steve, I know you're a big Melo guy. Just want to let you know the trade is done. And this was last weekend. Goes, the trade is done. Carmelo is going to the Houston Rockets and going to play with Chris Paul and James Harden. And at first I was real upset because, like I said, Carmelo's my guy. He's playing in my home state. Why would I want him to go anywhere else? Obviously, best case scenario would be for him to win here, but doesn't look like the Knicks organization can put together a competent roster around him. But anyway, so I was ready for him to go to Houston, and the Knicks hired a new GM, Scott Perry, and now kind of they stalled trade talks. How are you gonna literally for 2 years they're trying to get him? Hey, Melo, waive your no trade clause, waive your no trade clause. Let us trade you here, let us trade you there. He wanted to stay, and they finally got him to waive the no trade clause, and literally deals break off at the last second. Multiple people on Twitter have reported Melo's gonna be a Rocket. The deal is going to happen, and then this shit happens. So they're going to try to meet with him and say, Melo, we want you to stay, or just pick his mind. But they signed Tim Hardaway Jr. for $71 million. They're rebuilding, it's obvious, so it's time for him to go. I love Melo. I love him playing in my home state and watching him every night on MSG and going to his games, but it's time for him to win a ring. And unfortunately, LeBron created this environment where you can only win if you're on a super team, so Melo's got to go to Houston and form that super team. Him, Harden, and Chris Paul. I don't know if they'd beat the Warriors, but they'll be pretty damn close, so just waiting on that to happen. So my little entrepreneur millennial thing that I want to talk about for this video is conversion rates. And not specifically rates, but just converting people. So if you have a clothing store and someone walks into your store, the main objective is for someone to buy a piece of clothing, whether it's a shirt, jeans, shoes, whatever. And it doesn't stop there. Kind of like with websites, like I'm going to tell you a quick anecdote. When I had Skyscraper Sports, we had this one story that we literally got 15,000 views in a single day, or maybe 2. It was like a couple day stretch, no more than 3 day stretch, where we got 15,000 people to the site. And it was cool. I had Google AdSense implemented, so we got some money out of it. But we didn't convert them, and it was my fault. We had an email newsletter sign up box, but you had to click newsletter and go into it and sign up. I should have had it on the page and offered them something like 8 things you didn't know about New York sports, or just something exclusive so that I can say, hey, put your email here, we'll send you this, and then I can email market to them. We had a newsletter for Skyscraper Sports. It wasn't anything crazy. We didn't really sell products. It was more just of just sending out our newest stories, and we had affiliate ads, and I did it like every other week. I can't remember if it was every week or every other week, but we had literally 15,000 people in a 3-day stretch at most. Like I said, we got some money out of it from Google and maybe like 1 or 2 affiliate orders, but I really, really missed the chance to convert those people into subscribers and then really drive them deeper down the funnel. But I didn't do it. So now this time around, I kind of know better. If you go to proprietorls.com right now, you'll see that I'm implementing this stuff. I'm trying to get people to become subscribers, to be not only a one-time visitor, but a returning visitor and a loyal reader, whatever I decide to do with this in the future as far as monetizing it. So I just really, really want to preach that. Like, back to the clothing store. If you own a clothing store and you sell a t-shirt, that's great. You might make a couple dollars profit. They might wear your logo out. Great, you know what I mean? But you need to get their email, you need to get their phone number, you need to get something so that they can, maybe even an Instagram follow, a Twitter follow, anything like that, just so they can come back and you get their business again. Not many companies have succeeded selling something one time to one person, unless it's a recurring fee or something like that. But like I said, the clothing store, if you go in there, you sell a t-shirt to someone, they walk out, you never see them again, you make a couple dollars, but it doesn't advance your business. You need to do something to retain them, and that's where I messed up in Skyscraper, and I want to kind of get this out there so nobody does that. So again, I just want to preach how important it is to have a returning visitor, have a returning customer, and not just sell something to someone one time, because you're never going to succeed like that unless, like I said, you have a recurring fee or you're selling something that's worth $1 for $1,000,000. But let's be realistic, nobody's doing that. So anyway, hope that helps you guys out, whether you have a website, a store. Just retain your customers. Don't let them be a one-time customer, because you won't succeed. As always, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Proprietor TV. Has this shadow been on my mouth the whole time? That's a bad look. I hope it wasn't. I've been looking at the camera the whole time. Anyway, let me get out of the way. Is that good? Yeah. Anyway, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Proprietor TV. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our newsletter. And I think that's it. So I'll see you guys next week on the 6th episode. Peace.